Hello, hello. How are we doing, everyone? Are we good? Are we ready? Is everyone having a good Sunday? No, it's a Saturday. What am I saying? Feels like a Sunday. So, welcome to a animation reviews. We've got with which one are we on now? We're on like number 4. Yeah, animation reviews number 4. So, in today's actual animation reviews, we've got 2 students who are going to get animation feedback on their shot from me, of course, as you've guessed it. So I will be looking at their awesome shots and seeing what they come up with. So just give me a second. Okay, so all right, so if you are in the chat and this is your shot, please put a little message if you have any questions while I'm going through your shot, and I'm happy to, discuss, have a little chat with you, and, just answer any of your queries you might have. Yeah, and if you have joined the chat, hit the like, show some love, let's get started. So, let's see. So the first shot I have is, just give me a second guys, just getting things started. I'll just close some of this stuff. Cool. So the first shot I have is from from Zainab. Cool. I'll be looking at Zainab's shot first, and then I'll be moving on to Peyton's shot over here. We've got 2 acting performance shots. They both look lovely, and I'm going to hopefully help by giving feedback and, just watching this awesome animation as well. So let's play it. I'm not sure if I can play with audio. Guys, let me know in the chat if you can play something with audio. Hopefully, like, YouTube doesn't ban it. So let me see.
Sometimes a man's got to put his foot down and do what a man's got to do.
Okay. Sometimes
a man's got to put his foot down and do what a man's got to do.
Okay. Pause it there for a bit.
If the old lady don't like it, honey, that's too damn bad.
Cool. All right. All right. So I think, is Zainab here by any chance? Are you in the chat? Oh, there we go. We've got some people in the chat. Just before I get started, let me say hi to everybody. We've got Mario. Hey Mario, it's nice to see you in the chat. We've got Peyton, I'm hearing it, and when you're scrubbing. Awesome, nice to hear that. So I think I can play like 8 seconds of it. I'm just, because it's audio from a film, so if I play the whole thing, guys, YouTube goes, hold on a minute, you're playing a video, that's copyrighted. So I can't play the whole thing, but I can scrub little areas. So
sometimes a man's got to put his foot down.
Oh, and let me know, do you hear any like fan noise or weird noise in the background when I'm talking? Because if that's the case, I'll just close my fan so my laptop doesn't overheat. Well, I put it on so it doesn't overheat, but yeah. Cool. Yeah, I don't want your experience to be not so great because of like background noise. So just let me know in the chat, guys. All right.
Sometimes a man's got to put his foot down and do what a man's got to do.
Okay, let's focus on that section there. Sometimes a man's got to put his foot down and do what a man's supposed to do. That's the kind of like audio for that section. The first thing I'm noticing is if you look at the chest area, so there's a bit of noise, but it's fine if you ask me. No fan noise. I don't want it to like. Let me see. Laptop's on fire. So weird. Okay, well, let me try this. Close that for a second. And do this. Hopefully that's a bit more better. Is that better? Cool, let's try that for a little bit, see how that goes. All right, so what I'm noticing here over here, Zainab, is look how much rotation you're doing in this area. So let me get the chest. Let's make this a bit more bigger. Cool, that's much better. So around this area, you're doing quite a bit of rotation on the chest. That's quite a lot. And if I look at your friend, I think that's doing the acting. She's only doing a little bit of rotation. And even if you look at her face, her eyes, if you track her eyes, it goes from there to here. It's just a very small this. You have this very big motion from the upper body. If you do that big motion from the upper body, I would expect the hips to, you know, move across as well. So what you can do is, I think, maybe not have your character rotated so far ahead, just overall. Maybe just have, because if you look at her, she's got this kind of a rotation throughout the whole body. She rotates just a little bit. We're doing quite a bit of rotation because the initial first pose is really turned towards the car. So that's probably causing that. It's a bit weird, but it's fine if you ask me. Cool, okay, hopefully that's getting better. All right. Cool. Okay, so just 1 second, guys. Okay, I'll leave it like that. So, where were we? Hearing it sound? Cool. So hopefully you're getting all this, Zainab. My feedback. So yeah, that's the first thing I realized. And if you look at, because of that big rotation that you have of the body moving around and leaning back, look at her. She's got this very kind of, but we have this. So look how much she turns this way. It's just mainly with the head rotation, whereas over here we've got body rotating this way and head rotating that way. So if we just keep track of how much rotation she's doing, she's almost in the same spot. So that's the first thing I would say that struck me. And see that forward motion that you have from her, it's very super subtle. Like, it's not a lot of motion, it's very, very subtle. So I would try to play that very subtle as well with your acting there. And another thing is, if I was to try and get closer to this, see the shape her arm is making? This. And at this point, she does that, which is pretty close over here. But I would try to see what you're doing here. You're doing this. Let's get a different color, just so we can track what the hands are doing. So let's go frame by frame. I'm seeing some like very linear motions at some times. And I think we can work this hand a little bit closer to what the reference is doing. Now, you can exaggerate what the reference is doing. It's not a case of copying, but if I was to look, we still want to have the same kind of motion. Look, because you're going this way, she's doing that. See that? That's a completely different feeling. And if I was to grab her hands and be like, okay, well, let's track what she's doing, you would see that she's creating these nice arcs while she's actually washing the car, or, you know, the imaginary car itself. So we want to really try get those, get the circular motion of washing or polishing a car. And those are going to give us some nice little arcs. Okay, cool. Let's see the comparison between the two. And let's put some more frames in there. So let's, yeah, maybe like 20. Cool. So you see that circular motion she's making? She's doing this. We are doing something a bit more different. We're doing like there. We do this, this, and that. Yep. I think towards the end we do this nice little swoosh, which is nice. But initially it's a bit more linear. She has that, we have this, that. So I think we can work on that area just a little bit more. But yeah, let's keep going. Let me see if there's any feedback in those. I am taking notes. Awesome. Yeah, I would hope so. But yeah, that's for that section.
Sometimes
Okay, cool. When he goes sometimes, I think we hit a little bit of a wall. There. So I see you're doing an ease in, which is nice. As he rotates towards here, there's a bit of an ease in, but it feels a little bit sharp. If you track her nose, let's see what she's doing. So if we go back, sometimes, yeah. So if you were to track her nose, sometimes she's doing this. We go up and do this. See? We're not doing this. So I think we can get that sometimes. So it's sometimes. It's a nice little swoosh with the head rotation. And then a sometimes, you know, that's what we need to try add in there. At the moment, like I mentioned, we go straight into this pose, bang, then we go down. So we want to add a bit more of what's in the reference. Because obviously, like, the reference is really capturing the performance and the acting. Okay.
a man's got to put his foot down and do what a man's got to do.
Okay, I really do like that. That's
Sometimes
quite
a man's
pushed
got to put
in
his foot
terms of
down
like how
and
much
do what a man's
doing. Around here,
got.
over here, he seems to be looking slightly over my right shoulder upwards, like somewhere here, which is fine. But then here, he's looking there. So I would really keep track of your Cyclops. X-Men. So I would really keep track of your eyes. Like over here feels good. He's looking slightly over my shoulder here. But when we go a little bit further ahead, he's looking, especially this eye over here as well, be careful. It's sliding away. If you're moving the eye controller screen right, feel free to grab this one here and move a bit left. So we get something, whoops, where is it? We get something more like this. I'll do a little sketchy. So, okay, so let's say 7.5 is the one we're going to tweak. Grab that. Let's do this. And I think you could just pull back on the position of the eye, just so we get something a little bit more relaxed, is the word, I guess. There, maybe, like this. And maybe I could just zero this out as well, like that, compared to this. See, the moment we just move this eye a bit more screen left, it's just this white area here. It's making it feel a bit like this one's looking at me and that one's looking at my friend, you know? Which is fine. I think you just need to go in there and, you know, the main eye controller that moves both eyes? It's not that, but it's this one here individually. Sometimes we have to cheat a little bit, as in grab this controller, move it there, so it feels a bit more like this. And let's put a nice little white in the corner, make it quite Disney-ish. There. Cool. So we went from that to this. So it just feels a little bit more stronger, just having that eye a little bit more, you know, focused on what he's looking at. Cool. So hopefully that helps. To get the hand actually touching the car window, but I actually do a pass on him. My eyes look so. Don't worry, guys. We'll take a look at that. So what is the nose? Oh, I see. Yeah, it was a bit tricky to get the hand to actually touch the car window, but I think what you can do is just over here, you're stretching it too far. If you have the overall action happening around here, you're going to create more room to be closer to what she's doing here, like your elbows would be closer to you as well. So I don't think you need to be stretched out. You can have all the action for the hands happening around here. I think that will help you resolve that issue.
A man's got to put his foot down.
Yeah, so we spoke about the eye.
Put his foot down and do what a man's
You see when she nods her head down, so when she goes, put his foot down, it's more of a quite tense, assertive motion. She, or should I say he, the person who's acting is doing put his foot down. You see the moment my nose goes down, I'm quite foot down. There's a little bit of a bounce after that, but I don't really move a lot. I'm staying in that pose. So I think on your one, when you do the foot down, you do a bit of like a bounciness after. Yeah. You know, you come out of it. See, they're going down together, but then you rise back up quite a lot. Her one is more of a settle, so she does foot down there. Whereas your one's a bit more of a foot down. You go back up. I think you can stay in that pose a little bit longer.
Do what a man would do.
What would be nice around here that I think you're missing is, look at her hand in the background. So if we just focus on that for a second. As she goes in for this anticipation for the motion she's about to do, her hand in the background is rising. And then when she goes and do, the hand's supposed to come down, whereas your hand is quite static through here throughout. So I would be tempted to start rising her hand, or his hand, at this point. And then when you go into this and do, you would be able to get into this position here. You know, and just like she's doing, and do. And we'd also be removing the part where the hand is quite static for a longer period of time. And this is really nice as well, what she's doing with his hands. There's a nice little overlapping action that we can add. So rather than the hand going down, the hand does a up, down, and then we drag the hand. It's very quite animated the way she's doing that. There. Her hand does this, comes down. We go down and do this. So I think we can do a bit more of this.
And do what a man's got to do.
Cool. I think it's a nice pushed pose. You know me, I just want to push it a little bit more. So, oh, that looks way better now. The eyes. Cool. I hope so. Just looking for ways to push what you already have. What you have is looking nice already. So, see how I can see her palm? It's facing me a bit more. We can push that as well, you know, and have the fingers pointing towards. It's a bit more of this. Whoops, where is it? There, you know, angle a little bit more as well. That's nice. That's a terrible drawing, but I think you get the idea. So rather than having it, the palm facing that way, it's facing towards us, more at least. So that's one thing. Number two, let's see. I think the bend you have on the body is nice. We can pull back ever so slightly. It just feels a bit too, you know. You can still have that line of action where the character is, you know, you've still got this nice C shape over here, but I think it might be a bit too much because it just feels a little bit off balance. So keep what you have, don't change it. Just pull back a little bit on the rotation of the chest or the body, whatever you have over here. So he's a little bit more like this, you know. You still have that nice, awesome C shape through the body. And also this is super cool, like to have the hands here, just like she is. That's why I really like reference, because if there was no reference, I could just say, well, let's raise this, let's do that, let's do this. It could just be completely different things and I'll be moving away from your original performance. But with the reference, we can take this, recreate that, and then say, hold on a minute, that's awesome, but to push, I can do this and, you know, push a bit more. So we can. Yes, we can. All right, cool. So usually when we're doing a bit of a judgy expression, I would bring the eyebrows down on this side. You always want to favor one eyebrow a bit more than the other one. So I would be tempted you know, get a bit of a squint. That's too much. Too much. And let's get this eyebrow down. Again, these are all just like my personal thoughts on this. Feel free to take what works for you and what you want, and always speak with your instructor if you have an instructor. So a bit more of this, like, you know, that kind of thing going on. And maybe even with the mouth, just favor that side a bit more. So let's get rid of his moustache. He doesn't need a moustache anymore. All right. You know, something like this. And, I mean, let's give him his moustache back. It's taken him a while to grow it after November, so I'm not that heartless. Cool. So, but you can see, like, just by moving a few things around, we get a bit more of a, really? That kind of thing. What is he saying again?
Sometimes a man's got to put his foot down and do what a man's got to do.
You know, do what a man's got to do. It's like, it's not easy work, love. That kind of feeling. And that kind of, you know, I got to do what a man's got to do. That kind of like, know it all, it's hard for men kind of thing. That kind of feeling, like, you know, very know it all, judgy maybe a little bit. But that's kind of like what I'm getting from there. And then if we move on to this section. So let's look at it in segments. Whoops. So if you have joined the chat, please hit the like. I do appreciate that. It's your way of showing me support. I hope so. Yes. Let me just see what you guys are saying in the chat before I move on. Yeah, and if you have any questions, guys, like do ask, message in the chat. I am keeping, like, I take little breaks and take a look at the chat to see what you guys are saying if you have any questions. And obviously, if I'm reviewing your shot, please, you're more than welcome to message, and I will give priority to you if it's your shot. And yeah, at the very end of the live stream, I will just take questions from everyone, of course now as well, but more so, you know, towards the end. I'm happy to listen to everyone. So yeah, if you have joined the stream, please hit the like and enjoy the animation feedback. Cool. All right, so let's keep going. So we spoke about that. What's happening here?
And if the old lady don't like it,
I like that. And if the old lady don't like it, I would be tempted to go for like a half-lid expression over here. If the old lady don't like it, like, it's this kind of an expression. Well, I'll just draw it on him, shouldn't I? Let's go down a bit. You know those half-lid expressions that we see? Oh, that's what I'm talking about. It might not look like much now, but you'll see what I mean. It's that super cocky, know-it-all, still continuing like what he's doing, but just on another level. And this is much more stylized. And I think it's okay to go for that here. But again, like, please discuss with your instructor if you have one before doing this kind of stuff. I don't want to move too far away from what you're doing, but I really do like pushing poses. Like, it's kind of, it's the cool part of animation, just pushing stuff. Yeah, let's make him super cocky. It's a fun moment. Yep. There we go. Something like this. And then let's put a white in there as well. For that lid. There we go. And I'll just do the same thing for this side, just to keep with consistency. Just looks weird with one. Okay. You probably will have to sculpt this in there. And what I mean by that is you'd really need to move the eyelid controllers, maybe the sculpting controllers. So, but it's all fun stuff. Because once you've got this pose in there, you just stay in the pose. You don't really need to keep moving and changing it about. I'd like to get this a little bit more bigger. And let's do this. Cool. So you see how like cocky he looks? Get the old lady, that kind of thing. What was he saying again?
And if the old lady don't like it,
And if the old lady don't like it, it just kind of, for me, it helps. It feels like it really amps, you know, from this to this. They're both nicer. I like both of them, to be honest. Do you also have any advice on lip sync? I think lip sync will, yeah, we can definitely do it. Let's see. Let me take a look through. I think I've got maybe a few more minutes. I'll use the rest. Oh, spent a lot of time here. I'll take a quick pass because I want to keep it like half an hour each. I've got 2 views today. I want to keep the session for 1 hour at most, Zainab. So I'll take a look at the rest of the shot because I think I gave you a lot of feedback here. I'll take a look at the rest of the shot, and with the remaining time, I'll see.
The old lady don't like it, honey.
Yeah, when you do that, honey, it's more of a honey. Try to stay. Don't float around in that pose. Because at the moment, I'm seeing you just go this way. She is moving towards us, yes, but she has the chest moving, the hips moving, the head doing this. At the moment, I'm seeing a lot of just from the hips. It seems to be moving just from the hips. So when I say hips, like the body, try to involve a rotation. So leaning forward ever so slightly, then the chest overlapping. And this is very, very small stuff, but I can feel it because at the moment it's just a bit of a pose and the body just moving. That's what I'm reacting to. And you don't have that on the parts of the shot. Like you have the body fluid and moving around. So let me see the last bit and then I'll see if there's any time for lip sync.
That's too damn bad.
Yep, be careful we don't lose the eye over here. A way to not lose the eye is either pull it out a little bit or just have the face a bit closer to us.
That's too damn bad.
Yep, when you do too damn bad, like it's just the shoulders and head. I would involve the chest, hips, so you would still have a bit of a body moving up and down. But try to keep contained as much as you can. So do you also have any advice on lip sync? Yep, cool. Let's take a look at lip sync stuff as well. So we have a few people in the chat. Guys, I do appreciate if you hit the like. I'm not going to say that anymore because you're probably like, I'm not hitting the like because you've asked for it. I'll ask one last time before I close up. Cool. All right. That's basically Fatih Animation, Animated and Student Support Butter. That's what that should be called. All right, cool. Let's take a look at lip sync stuff. So, I mean, lip sync takes a long time, to be honest. Some of the feedback is quite detailed stuff, but some of the stuff.
A man's got to put his foot.
A man's. I would have the put as a, like, so your lips are puckering. So if I was to look at it from the side, he's got a, and then the second one would be they're opening while they're just like, he's got to put his foot down. So it's, think of it like a little spit. It's not a spit, but you're puckering over here. You're creating this shape on the lips, and then the p is this bit over here. They kind of like push that way, and eventually just like open up while they're still going forward. The next pose will be something like this. So it's, they continue, the mouth opens, or the lips open with the mouth opening a little bit. So man's gonna put his foot down. For the fur, you want something like this. The bottom lip rolling in. You see the teeth. A man's gonna put his... It's almost like the bottom lip rolls backwards, connects with your teeth, your upper teeth. Foot. So yeah, this isn't a great drawing, but hopefully you get the idea. Bottom lip rolls in. This is for the F. And you want it there for like 2 seconds. Sorry, 2 seconds, wow. 2 frames. And you're going into this and coming out of it. Foot. And then this is from the front view. Okay, and...
Foot down and...
The and the D is similar as well to that.
Do what a man's gotta do. And if the old...
Feel is the same F that we just spoke about here. You can keep it like that with the bottom lip rolled in. And then when you go feel, E. E is wide open. See both teeth. So the mouth just opens up like this. If you look at me, feel. The corners open and I see the top teeth and a little bit of the bottom. It's an E. This is an E. Feel. You see a little bit of the top and the bottom teeth. That's an E. Feel. And then towards the end you roll the lip up. The tongue, sorry. Feel. And then you roll that back out. So yep. I think that's all we have today for today's Zainab. We've got like half an hour. But hopefully that was useful. Some of the notes that I've given on the first half of your show, which is more in detail, you can apply that to the rest as well. But I think there's quite a bit to go on there. And yeah, I think your shot's coming along nicely. I think there's some really nice stuff in there. It's so tricky, especially for foot. Yeah, I know. Lip sync, even me. For me, it's like, oh my god. Got to move the mouth and stuff. So yeah, actually for the channel, I'm thinking of having a facial animation demo where I show you guys the basics of like doing mouth shapes and stuff like that. So hopefully that'll be helpful to you and the other students as well that are doing classes where they're doing facial animation. Cool performances like yours over here, where, you know, this is a lot. You've got constraints, washing the car, turning around, acting, facial, lip sync. So it's a lot to kind of like take on board. So one thing at a time. But just, yeah, just keep working on it. And I think it's definitely coming along. Cool. Thank you so much. Lip sync is so tricky, especially. Yeah, cool. No, you're more than welcome, Zainab. So I'll definitely look forward to seeing some of your other shots as well. So keep it up, and yeah, let's see this shot in the future as well. But one advice for you going forward is maybe just like record yourself close up, or actually even here. Cool. All right. So, no, you're more than welcome. I'm glad to see you in the chat and seeing your shot as well, and seeing that you're doing well as well. So that's awesome. Cool. Hit that like on the way out. Just squeeze it out of you. I probably think you already have it, but anyway. But look, awesome. Stay in the chat for the next review if you want to watch. If not, I'll see you around. And I know you're in the Discord channel, which is also awesome. Cool. All right. So let's move on to Peyton's shot. Hey Peyton, how's it going? Are you in the chat? Are you around? One of us. It's lovely to see you in the chat, by the way. So it's awesome. Cool. Oh, I'm seeing some hearts. Is that love and appreciation? Thank you. All right, cool. Let's see your awesome shot.
You're just jealous.
Jealous? Jealous? You don't even exist to me! even exist?
Nice, interesting choice of shots. I did always like your performances and choice of acting performances, so that's always good to see. Mine internet might be a little bit delayed. Sorry about that. I've got my pen ready. No, that's fine. You can always come back to the recording. The live stream afterwards if you missed anything. But if you're taking notes, that's amazing.
You're just jealous.
Jealous?
I actually like when you're turning here. So you've got a nice tense turn. What might be nice is you've got a very nice, relaxed facial expression.
You're just jealous.
So I'm thinking it might be nice if she's on her phone and she's like, you know, I'm on my phone, smiley. A little bit more like this. She goes from a little bit more squinty, smiley because she's happy on the phone to whoever she's talking to, and then we go from that. So let me just do this. Give her eyelashes back because we want her to look pretty, and we can maybe drop the eyebrows down a little bit as well. This is just a very small adjustment to what you have, but hopefully I'm trying to make some room for the part where she goes jealous and she turns into this psycho crazy person. So we could start off with something a bit more like this, something a little bit more not Joker, but a bit more, you know, smiley and squinty and like this compared to that. So then when she goes,
you're just jealous.
When she puts her eyes up, she can go from jealous. What do you mean jealous? So we go from this to, and I think it'd be nice to just have white around the eyes. Really open this up. I don't know if you're making the pupils much bigger than they are. Just let me know. If that's her eye size, that's totally fine. But it will be nice to see some white around the eyes. I might have ruined that a little bit. Whoops, that doesn't look great. I'm losing my drawing abilities. Help! Maximus. I don't know who Maximus is, but it sounds like my sidekick. Alright, and over here we could just go, let's raise the eyebrow. So we've lowered it initially. And here we could just raise them up to make that even a bit more pushed. Okay, so now we go from this jealous, you know, like what? Jealous? That contrast I think is going to help. The pupil size is untouched. They're massive, aren't they? I think what you can do is just make them a little bit more smaller if I was you, because this eye completely becomes engulfed in black. And it'll, you know, even to start off with, I think you could do with making them a bit more smaller. Again, check with the instructor for stuff like this, because I think when you open your eyes, it's going to be difficult to get white around them unless we break the eyes. So just for appeal factor, we can get that a little more smaller. So yeah, I think this is going to be nice. So she's, the guy talks and it's like, the eyebrows go up, the face opens up, and then she goes into this crazy kind of Karen-ish person mode there. Like, what did you say? Psycho mode. And let's zoom back out, see what there we go. So we go from this straight to that. So I think the contrast would be, we keep her super happy, super eyebrows up, lots of white around the eyes to have that big contrast. And yeah, she's super tense here as well. Cool, let's play.
You're just jealous.
And when you do actually have that, you know, the eyes opening and the tension, you can have a bit of a, you know, that tension kind of runs through her body. She has a bit of a lean backwards, but not a big, slow lean. It's more of a tense, vibrational one, just to feel like she's tense, kind of, what did you just say? Snappy, rather than keeping her quite static. So you can do that with a very small rotation of the head, followed by the chest and the hips, and yeah, it should just run through the body. What you're doing here in the beginning is nice. I think you can just have her in one pose, just exhale or inhale.
You're just jealous.
Right now I just see the shoulder coming down, and I think the pose you have is cool. All you need to do is like up and down on the hips, up and down rotation on the chest, and a little bit on the head, but without changing the pose. It just needs to be something like keep alive, and I don't think we have that. I think the chest is quite static, so it's not moving.
You're just jealous.
And the hips are just going that way. We just need to up and down, very, very small. And there would be a backwards and forwards, left and right, but they all need to be happening in very, very small amounts.
Jealous?
Yep. Let's see your reference.
Jealous?
Yeah, you see when you say jealous, look what happens. So your timing is a little bit different here compared to this, which is fine. But look when you turn. When you turn here, look what happens to the phone in your hands. It rotates towards us as well. Whereas when you rotate, the phone stays here and the whole body turns. It's like the hand is locked. So you would still have a bit of jealous. Like, it wouldn't be robotic, like fully. You would still have a bit of overlap, like a dragging secondary action. But you would still have the phone follow and come towards the direction you're facing. So we would need a bit of a rotation on the phone, or like with your hands, for the phone to be like around here maybe by the time she's done turning. Cool. Let's look at this section.
Jealous? You don't even... Jealous? Jealous?
I think the jealous that you have in your reference, like, it's much more, how can I say, the body feels a little bit more connected when you're just doing it with the head. It's more of a jealous. It's the head doing the motion and then the chest following a little bit. I think this whole up and down on the body is a little bit too much. I would do it more with the head, just like you're doing it over here. And also, like, you see, when you say jealous, you drop your hands down, so the phone comes down as well. I don't know if this was like a performance change that you wanted, that you spoke with your instructor. If you can let me know, that would be great, because I don't want to make you move away from what you guys are doing. But for me, I would stay a little bit more close to your reference, because you got some nice stuff where you drop the phone down, which we don't have over here. And a number two, you go jealous up like that, whereas your jealous over here is more jealous. It's more sideways head rotation there. So if we look at your head, head goes right, phone drops down, and then the chest follows what the head's doing as well. Whereas this is very cartoony. It's more of a boing, and that's fine if that's the route you want to go for. However, I'm more interested in your amazing Oscar-winning acting. It was a performance change from my instructor, but it has been turned down quite a bit since this version. Cool. If that's the case, then... If that's the case, the head goes up and the hips go up at the same time, Peyton. What I would do is just make sure the head goes down up, so it's more of a this. So when the head goes down, the chest goes down. And this is very small, but when the head goes up, we feel the chest rotate and then the hips go up. At the moment, it's the head is rotating up with the hips going up. So I'm feeling this rotation and this translation happening at the same time. You need to offset a little bit. So this rotation is happening slightly earlier, and this one is following slightly behind. And if that's also what you want to do, you need to drag the hand down and come back up and back down again. So it's more of a that, you know? So that's something that we need to have, sort of overlapping action. So when your hips go left, you kind of hit a bit of a wall over here. If that's where you want to stop, that's fine. Hit that pose, but just push through, ease in, come back into it, and then settle. At the moment, you go there, click, you stay there. And then, yeah, you would always have a bit of a, I'm moving left, I'm pushing through, I'm easing in, I'm slowing, and then I move again. So you want continuous movement there while your character's swaying her hips to the left over here. We don't want to hit this invisible wall. That's kind of a thing in animation. So what I would do is, once you come here, just do a follow through, pass through that motion. So if this is your pose, you want to go around here with this kind of a spacing. You're easing in around here, and then you come back into settle in that pose that you are currently staying in. That way we keep the character alive, we don't hit that wall, and yeah, we make your animation look awesome. Cool, and then when you do that as well, this whole section over here, from head all the way down to the hips, is kind of moving at the same time. What I would do is, as your hips are going left, just drag the chest like, so if I'm going to go this way, I would do this. So rotate the chest in the direction, the opposite direction you're going. So if I'm going that way, I'm rotating my body this way. Just to do this kind of like swaying motion. Just to offset and break up the body. So we don't move in one motion, one linear line. The chest goes this way a little bit, the head drags that way. As we go here, the head drags a bit more. Body starts to become straight, head is catching up, then the head becomes straight. So you want that kind of, you know, looseness across the body from head all the way down to the hips, because we do have quite organic movements. Okay, and so let's try to keep this body going right and left. You do have a bit of that, but look, you start to move around here. Frame 54 to 55, you start to go screen right, like your motion starts around there. Whereas we, in our blocking, start at 63, like 10 frames later. That's almost half a second. So we want that to happen a bit more earlier. And also when you do that, let's have a bit of a down, up, down, up. We're always doing ups and downs and creating those nice spacing across the shot. You see when you put your hands up here, that's a key pose. Let's zoom in and see what you're doing. Yeah, you've got a much more tense, like your fingers are much more straight here. Stuff like this. You know, it's a bit more like this over here. It's, you gotta. So that helps much more. Curling them in is not. I mean, you can straighten them up a bit more, like just have them a bit more tense. And then you go into that pose here. So I think we can work on these finger poses as well a little bit more. Something like this. You know, just to get them a bit more tense. Like this and like this. It's not the best drawing, but you kind of get the idea. We can get this a little bit more stronger. Let's see. Keep an eye here. They're almost the same level. That should be around here. And when you do that, these elbows are going to be the same as well. That means the shoulder will be dropped. So let's keep an eye on like the position of where they are. I do like the facial expression. And when you do get to like a really angry pose, let's see if you're saying it was a point. Do you have any questions at the moment, Peyton, by the way? or anyone else that's in the live stream watching. If you guys have any questions, I'm more than happy to take a mini break and see what you guys are saying. But I see that you're coming to a very angry moment here with her, or she is, because she's a very, very happy person, from what I can tell. And I really like these angry poses because you're kind of like, I'm a big anime Dragon Ball Z kind of person, and I'm a big fan of having the eyebrows as like the top lids for really angry poses, expressions at least. They're very, very helpful. They are very expressive. They help a lot. Oh, that's not a great drawing. So I would actually be tempted to use her eyebrows as her upper eyelids, like this. And then when she's angry, we can push this and get some more squinting here as well. You can, blah, blah, blah. Something like this. So, let's see if we can do that for her. Let's really bring those down. I can bring it down a bit more, maybe. Whoops, it's too big. And I think once you get this expression in there, you can stay in that expression for as long as you want. Okay, let's do this. Let's put her eyelashes back on. She might be angry, but she wants to look nice. Okay, let's do this as well. Nope. Let's go white. What have I done? There we go. So hopefully that helps. I don't have any. Okay, cool. So that's kind of like the expression, if you can. I don't know how much you can push this rig, but it'll be nice to get this kind of expression for your angry pose. We'll be able to really push what you're doing and just like push that mouth shape as well. What does she say again?
Jealous? You don't even.
You don't even. She's doing something like this. Let's get red. Cool. Yeah, something like this. All right, let's look at the rest of the shot. So, see that? We go from this quite neutral eyes and mouth. The mouth is nice, but we could go to this. She's super angry. I'm almost tempted to continue with this. You know what? Let me just finish it off. Did you have any questions? I'm going to move on to the last part of you. Oh, you don't have any. Okay, no worries. Hopefully this pose is helpful for you. And we can really push your pose to get your character a little bit more angry and stay in that performance throughout the shot. Then I'll go for black. And it's not going to be the greatest drawing, but hopefully, something, doesn't look great. If I had my iPad, it might be better. There we go. We go from this pose to angry. You don't even understand. So we've got neutral eyes, eyebrows, eyes, And then if we go to something like this, obviously I've drawn so I can like fiddle around a bit more. But I think we can get something really nice out of this. It's a really cool moment to get something super expressive, especially in the change of her going from super calm to annoyed to angry. Okay, let's keep going. Let's look at your final section before we wrap up. If you guys are watching in the chat, if you can hit the like, I would be super, super appreciative of your support. All right, let's see the last section.
Exist to me. You don't even exist.
Nice. I like the performance here. It's
Exist to me. You don't even.
I think that head shake is nice. Over here, I'm seeing you do, you don't even exist to me. You're just looking in one direction. And there is something really nice about that.
You don't even exist.
You don't even exist to me. Like you turn your head on the exist to me is nice, where you just pause. You don't even exist to me. It's got this very like higher superiority complexion, which she is, you know, she's got that throughout the whole shot. And this is just a personal thing. This pose that you have here where it's, you don't even exist to me, that feels much more strong than you don't even exist to me. Like it's just hitting every accent. And I just think that makes it a little bit more stronger. But that's a personal thing. And you see what you're doing with the hand. The hand is going around the head and rotating, coming down. That's really cool. But if you look at your reference, it continues on the side of your head and comes down in this arc, which is really cool. You do this and then you come out. It will be super cool to continue that snake-like motion that you have from your hand. So you see how it goes around where your ear is. So you come down here and you're around here. And then you go down around here. And then you're around here. Like this. You're continuing that snake-like motion. So your motion is a little bit more different. And at this point, you do that and you come up. So rather than doing this, I think this snake-like motion trail is much more interesting, fun, and it kind of like suits with her personality as well.
Even exist. Exist to me. You don't even exist.
And you see the way you opened your hands out? You hold it there. There's a bit of tension there. When you go into this pose on frame 308, it'll be nice to just stay in that pose. Bang. You continue moving your hands around, and that becomes a little bit floaty, and we lose that tension that she's kind of giving off. Yeah, I would try to stay in that pose, like hit that pose. You don't even exist to me. Like it builds up a lot of tension.
Even exist. Exist.
Cool. Did you have any questions, Peter? Any questions, anyone? Let's see what the chat is saying. The chat is on fire. Cool, let's see what you guys are saying. Alright, so I think your shot is coming along really well. I would just try to, I was having trouble with the full shot of 308.
Even exist to me.
Oh, and also on that, you're talking about this hand over here, screen left. She also has her hand sideways, like this. Like this is her palm. So I would also like rotate this way. That's one. And also try to track your arcs. She's doing this. You're doing this. Yeah, I think it's the moving hold. Like, you come out of this pose, you go there, and you ever so slightly start to continue moving, but you're easing in, and then you move out of that. So that's what I think you need to apply around that area.
Exist.
You're just jealous.
Cool. Ah, I see.
Jealous.
Cool. I think that's our 1 hour of animation reviews. I think it was going to be like 20 minutes each, but because we had 2 students, I pushed on to 30 minutes each. So that comes towards the end of our animation reviews. Thank you very much, Peyton, for submitting your shots. Thank you, Zainab, for submitting your shot as well. Hopefully all this feedback was helpful, useful, and you guys can continue improving your shots. You definitely have like really cool ideas. I would just encourage you to continue and yeah, keep pushing, because you can always like keep pushing your shots and improving them. And I really like the performance, like the choice of action as well. It's really exciting. So yeah, anyone in the chat that doesn't have their shots and would like to ask a question, or just any question, guys, I'm open to spending 5 minutes talking to you guys, all things animation. And yeah, if you do want to learn animation from a professional animator like myself, do reach out. I give private courses. If you want to join the Discord, it's in the main channel, so feel free to join the main channel Discord. All the links are in the description section there. I give weekly tutorials. Let's take a look together. That's this now. That's what's happening right now. We're in the chat. So over here, if you go into my bio, that's my handsome face. And when you click on the more section, there's Discord. You join the Discord. That's where you get all the news from my, it's just basically stuff that you get before it comes out on the channel. So if there's like an animation review like now, if you join the Discord channel, guys, you can you'll see when I'm looking to do an animation review, and I'll say, hey guys, who's interested in like getting feedback for their shots? You'll know it there first, and then you could just let me know and I'll make a little list just like now. Instagram, I will have little shorts and clips there, and LinkedIn is my link to my account. You can see where I've worked. You can message me directly there as well, or Discord, whichever floats your boat. But do subscribe to the channel. I have weekly videos and live streams of all the principles of animation. I'm making lots of basics for animation that I'm going to put on the channel soon. So those of you that are interested in learning animation basics like bouncing ball, timing, spacing, anticipation, all that stuff, I will have a playlist for this over here. But yeah, check out my show reel if you want to learn from me. And yeah, all the shorts are here, live streams here, so lots of stuff over here. Just check it out. If you like it, feel free to reach out to me. But in the meantime, let me see if there's any other questions in the chat. If not, I will let you guys enjoy your Saturday evening. What's happening? Coco Melon, what did you say? Coco Melon, time for animators. Oh, that's funny. Yeah, cool. But like soon I'm gonna have like a little demo reel of like my students that are learning from me, so I can show you guys like the kind of quality you can push your animation to if you learn from me. And yeah, hopefully it'll be something you might be interested in. But in the meantime, let's see. Running for animators time. Cool. All right, guys. Look, it's been awesome. I've really enjoyed this. Enjoy your evening and keep an eye on the channel. I will have videos and live streams. Join Discord, subscribe, like, and yeah, hit that like on the way out. So cool. Have an awesome weekend, and I'll see you next week with more videos. See you guys. Bye.